All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Spacejumper podcast. My name is Jared, and of course, I am your host. Today, I have a good friend of mine in the house, and I'm very excited that you're here. He is the owner and operator of Cowboy's Turf and Landscape out of the Golden Triangle, and you, sir, have been doing some amazing things. You stay steady and you stay busy every day, all week. I always see your social media. And I mean, it's always constant, Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and start out and tell everybody what it is that you do?
All right. So, you introduced me, Dylan Mays from Golden Triangle. I'm going to go ahead and rep it, China, Texas.
Yeah, rep that China, baby.
You got to say China, or you can call it Beaumont, whatever you want to call it. I call it China.
Right.
Born and raised, like you said, I am doing the turf, artificial turf out in Southeast Texas. Not a lot of people know about it. How I got into it, I don't know if you've seen that, but I moved to Utah for about a year and a half-ish.
Dude, Utah's beautiful, too. I mean, some of the terrain out there is just like,
Utah.
Wow. Yeah.
I love Utah.
Yeah.
Thinking about moving back, but I think we got settled on something else. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Remember Michael Williams?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually doing it still. That's actually how I got into it.
Wow. Is he still in Utah? Was he in Utah?
He's in Waco now.
Wow, that boy stays moving. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. He's another one grinding.
Yeah. Mike, he taught me all the ropes, ins and outs, everything.
That's a good friend right there. Yeah.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
So, took everything from him, just kept running. Came back home from Utah. Here we are. We're still doing it. Artificial turf, man. We do front yards, backyards, to indoor baseball facilities, softball, whatever you want to call it, soccer, anything. We're taking it on. Wow.
Yeah, man, that's incredible. And it seems to be a growing interest. Everybody wants their yards turfed. Everybody wants, a plus about turf is, you put it around your pool, you hop back in the pool, you don't have the grass on your feet and all that unnecessary cleaning that you have to do with the water and filtration systems and things like that. Exactly. So, I really like the aspect of turf, and I have my own personal idea of why turf, but why turf in your eyes? Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen it. I had some shirts. I stopped selling them. They just say just turf it. It was like a Nike.
I like
Nike
it.
design.
Yeah,
should have kept doing that, but I didn't want to get sued.
Yeah.
So why do it? One reason, like you say, around pools. If you're weed eating, things like that, it helps keep the pool cleaner around year round.
Right.
Of course, you're still gonna have your leaves and things getting inside of there. You have to always clean the pool, but it's less maintenance. You don't have to own a lawnmower. All you have to have is a blower, a rake, plastic rake,
convenient,
things like that. Yeah. You don't have to spend money on the lawnmower, gas. You got the 2-stroke stuff, oil, and throw all that out. Turf it. Just turf it.
Yeah, just turf it.
Just turf it, man.
Why
You don't
not?
have to. You're gonna spend that same amount of money cutting the grass for 30 years if you're going to stay in that house or the next house. It all adds up. So
yeah,
if you just put it all in monthly payments, you can pay $200-$300 a month for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And you don't have to.
I mean, it's cheaper than a lawnmower these days.
Yeah, a lawnmower. Yeah, everybody wants the big ones, zero turns. $8,000.
Hey, those X-Marts though are ridiculous, man. I hopped on an X-Mart. It's like a Cadillac of lawnmowers.
I'm not gonna lie, there is some cool lawnmowers.
Yeah, there's a therapeutic thing about lawnmowers too. When I was young, I used to my dad specifically used to put me to work, man. And we had a riding lawnmower, but no, he wanted me pushing. Get your ass out there and push that lawnmower. I'd be like, hey, my friends are going to Buffalo Wild Wings. Can I have $15-$20?
Yeah, cut the grass.
You want to work? So. But yeah, man, I think that what you're doing is awesome, and not a lot of people that I know and aware of are doing turf. And I know that it's a full process, and it takes a full team to get these jobs completed and things like that. But what exactly is the process of going in and turfing something?
Turfing something. Okay, so it just depends on what's there currently. Let's go with a regular job. If they already have grass, what we're gonna do is excavate up to 6 inches, sometimes even more, depending on what's going on once you start excavating. Say if there's more weeds and
that's just removing that upper layer of ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you want to get all the grass out of there, weeds, everything. Want to get all out. Go get all of that out of there. Then we're gonna come back with some commercial weed weed killer. Weed killer granules, put those all in the area. Then commercial weed fabric layer. And we start building up with crushed concrete. We're going to do about 4, sometimes even 5 inches of that. That's for drainage, as well as that's the sub base. It's super sturdy. We're going to level that off, compact it. When we speak about leveling, we're talking about, someone, maybe their yard's holding water. Maybe it's
which is common in Southeast Texas.
Very, very
and
common.
even here in Houston. I mean,
Very,
big
very
business.
common. Exactly. So with turf, you can also add in drainage that can run under the turf. So you can slope the turf to however you want it to drain to a certain area. So say if there's a heavy rain, hurricane, all that water's we can drain it to one area, have a drain there, run it off to. Most people have canals, things like that nearby.
Right. Yeah.
That's great. That's a little bit extra, but most of the time we can run it off to somewhere where it's going to make its way to where water needs to go, where the proper drainage is.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of engineering that goes into it, a lot of pre-planning and I'm sure it was a lot of trial and error, I'm sure.
Still is.
Yeah, I'm sure working with Michael and doing, kind of having that teamwork going on, I'm sure that it's a lot easier to work out kinks together.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that you guys kind of combined and started this because, like I said, as far as I know, you guys are the only ones that I know of that are doing turf.
Logan Moody's doing it now too.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Last I heard, he was doing home, like just inside home renovations and things like that. But man, yeah, it's turf. There's an art to it.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that kind of brings me into the first time that I heard that you were in turf and things like that. There was actually a post on Facebook. And I'm sure you remember this, but it was with a guy named Frankie with Madison's on Dallin. I know, and that caused a bit of an uproar online. And I was like, man, this is whether people see it as good or bad, this is excellent advertisement. You know,
I took it.
Yeah,
I took it.
Well, hey, to be fair, if people have turf in their building, it should, from a professional that knows the business, there's always room for improvement.
Oh man.
How did that turn out? I know there was a small uproar. People didn't appreciate
the turf
it.
wars.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. Turf wars. It caused the turf wars. It was never a war, but it was funny.
That's hilarious. That reminds me of a South Park episode. That
was a good time. That was actually right when I started. That was at like maybe 2 to 3 months before I actually took off out in Beaumont doing turf. It was probably a month or two actually, somewhere close in there. But that would actually been my first job, first or second. It was first or second.
Wait, so did you actually redo the turf there?
No.
Ah, man, that guy missed out, man. Could have had it.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
But and that's the thing, when you're good at something, people recognize that, and I'm sure since then you've got a lot of business. I know. I actually talked to my brother at one point, and he was like, "Man, I need somebody to turf my backyard," and I was like, "Man, you need to hit my boy Dylan up." Yeah, and so I don't think that he ever got it turf. I think it's still in the works. But yeah, it's there's definitely a positive aspect of turfing your yard. So what kind of, have you ran into any? I'm sure there's like I said, trial and error. Have you ran into any issues as far as like growing pains in the business?
Growing pains?
Yeah,
I've ran into growing pains. My back hurt all the time. God dang. But definitely growing pains. Biggest thing is. Growing is the customer's knowledge. A lot of people, Southeast Texas, a lot of them do have knowledge of how it works, what goes into it, how much it costs, things like that. But majority are very new to it. It's a new market, so it's a lot of teaching. Excuse me. I think that's the biggest part right now is kind of getting it out there, letting people know what what to expect, what we're going to be doing. This is why it costs this much, what all goes into it. So,
Right.
a lot of people don't know that. So, I go out there, quote, I try to teach as much as I can, but it's hard to teach that much in that short amount of time frame. So they get the price and they're like, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing in Southeast Texas. You're out in Houston, you can see down there, they have turf.
Right.
Turf is huge out here. And my thing is, my main goal is to get it as big as I can in Beaumont, Southeast Texas area, because I feel like as popular as turf is out here, it's eventually gonna make its way
100%
to Beaumont.
Yeah.
Beaumont, South. I keep saying Beaumont. Southeast Texas. Sorry, my Southeast Texas people. But I definitely think that I see it. I see that happening.
Yeah, there's definitely room for growth in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now is a great time to, be advertising online. And I mean, right now I've been telling everybody, and, this isn't why I got into podcasting, but since I've gotten into podcasting, I've realized that social media, it's a gold rush. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so much opportunity online via your cellular device. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could get so much attention, and so you could target specific audiences through social media. And I think that you have a great platform for a business. And, if you were to expand and, you were talking about teaching people about turf, kind of make educational videos of what is turf and why, and things like that. I think that would be extraordinary for your business.
It definitely would.
And I saw a couple videos that you were doing that involved, I don't know if you guys were flying a drone around, but you kind of had like some aerial footage of everybody working and things like that.
Was Trent and, dang, I call him Ling still.
Yeah. oh, yeah.
Trent and, what is Trent's last name?
Robertson. Yeah.
Robertson.
Yeah.
He came out and
that's right.
Then again, also DroneWorks did that work. Shout out to DroneWorks. They definitely helped out a ton whenever I first started doing work out in Southeast Texas.
Right. Well, I saw that. I saw, everybody was working and had these cool shots. I was like, dude, that's really cool content, Mm-hmm. So I guess that kind of brings me into a more of the educational side. Are there different types of turf?
There's too many.
Oh no,
we're not in my truck, but I would have just you asking that question. I would have went down and grabbed every single box of turf I have in my backseat. You can ask her. I have probably
like samples,
different samples. I have probably 30, 40 different samples in my backseat right now.
Different colors, or
they're all different colors, different backings, different textures, different lengths, thickness. There's a ton of different. There's so many different companies that sell turf. It's way too many.
So what's like the major differences between them? Like what would cause somebody to be like, that's the best turf, that's what I want?
The softness. Everyone loves the super soft, not too short, maybe about an inch and a half pile height, and not too thick. I wish I had a sound. That probably sounds crazy right now. You're like, oh, I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm trying to explain it. But
no, it makes sense. Okay. So like they're looking at like the texture and like the strength of the artificial blades of grass and how I'm sure how it feels on your feet and things like that. Oh, I see.
How hot does it get?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. What temperature does this rise to? Is this comfortable for my dog to walk on?
For kids. Things like that, So I've done a lot of actually, we're on a daycare job right now. Almost 4,000 square foot. So that's the things that I always mention first before I'll lay out all the turfs I got now. I have maybe 10, 12 different samples now that I've kind of dumbed it down to. They'll go through them. So in this situation, daycare, there's off the rip, there's like 4 or 5 of them. Like, you don't even want to look at these. This is for daycare. So, you definitely want to have something for fall protection for kids at daycare. So that kind of dumbs it down as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of dumbed down to, I think they had 3 or 4 different options to look at. And then they, of course, chose the softest.
Right. Yeah. We've got to protect the kids, you know?
Exactly. So it depends on what you have going on
at
home. If you have pets, there's different types for pets. There's different types for...
Are there like anti-allergens or anything like that? I mean,
so... With the turf I use, no, there is no problems with allergens, no type of none of that going on. But there are some out there that you definitely have to be careful about. Also, the infield. The infield is going to be where you have a lot of the allergen problems.
What do you mean by infield?
Infield is the sand that goes inside of the turf.
Oh, so, I see.
Yep. So what that does is actually helps keep it cool. It's antibacterial infield. Helps keep it kind of, I said cool already. Cool, antibacterial, deodorizer for the pets.
That's big like that. Too, yeah.
So when it comes down to those type of chemicals that you're putting in it, that's whenever the allergens come into play.
That makes sense. Every time I think of turf, my initial thought goes back to,
football. I know what you're about to say, the little black bees.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody says that.
Exactly. I remember, man, I would take off my cleats and dump out just like tons of little black pebbles. Like it was just crazy. But yeah, that's the first thing that comes in my mind. So not all turf is filled with those little beads.
So that is more of sport infield. That is actually infield though. But it's not for. That's more for the static.
Oh, that makes sense. Because it's rubber. Yeah,
it's
and the cleats digging in. Yeah.
So when you're in the yard, that's what everyone hates. They're like, "Is there going to be a little black infield?" And I'm like, "No, that's old."
Yeah. So wow, it's outdated now.
Basically, yeah. There's some jobs I go to, the soccer field in Beaumont, the Harley Quinn. Why did I just say Harley? I'm thinking about Batman. Yeah. It's something Quinn.
Right? Are you talking about right there by
off of Dishman?
Yes. That's by Mobile Oil. Well, old Mobile Oil, now Rave, I guess. Yeah. My nieces play there.
Quinn? I think it's Quinn.
Yeah.
Is it Quinn?
I usually say the soccer complex.
The soccer complex.
I don't even know. Yeah.
So I did a bid for them. They still have the black infield, and they're like, is there going to be more of this if we get it? I'm like, no. The turf that actually goes that I use, indoor padded turf, doesn't even require infield.
Oh, nothing. Wow. No. So is that what kind of advancement is that? Is that for time? Is it more efficient for when you're applying the turf or laying the turf down, or is it just more economical?
Economical. Definitely gonna be economical. So in some situations you can double the amount you put, because what it is it comes in 50-pound bags. Oh. So that helps keep the turf in place, as well as all the other things, deodorizer, antibacterial, things like that. But when it comes to sports, infill, only time you use it is outside, and then that's going to be more of your not sand infill that we use for yards. It's going to be most like if you're going to have to use infill for a sports field, you're going to use rubber pellets.
Wow. So what other services do you guys offer? It's you're going in, you're turfing yards and commercial spots and things like that. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else involved in I mean, I know that there's a lot of components in turf, but are there any other like major adjustments that you have in your business as far as yard, like landscaping and things?
Honestly, landscaping and turf. There's some times where we'll use like some paver work, things like that, but that's also considered landscaping or hardscaping.
What is paver work?
Paver walkways, paver patios.
Oh, I see.
So, but it's honestly called hardscaping. But
is that like when they put the layer of stuff over concrete to like reduce the heat?
No, it's actually. How can I? So those 12x12 square pavers that you can get at like Home Depot, Lowe's.
I do.
Little concrete squares.
Right.
Those are pavers. So you can put those. You can create walkways with them, patios. They're not all that color and shape. They all have different types of.
I'm sure it gets fancy. Yeah,
there's a whole bunch. Actually, we took out some today. They're shaped like. They look like. I'm gonna have to just show you.
Okay, yeah. Now I have to see. Honestly, yeah. It's crazy how complex all this stuff is. I mean. People specialize in a lot of different things, and if you just hone into one thing, there's so many components involved, So
those are pavers.
Oh, wow. Is this a job that you did?
No, we didn't do that. Was actually a job I went seen. That was that was the earliest picture.
Wow.
But we've done jobs like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. It definitely turfing a yard definitely adds a level of I don't even know how to say this. It adds it's a different vibe, you know, from going from grass to it's more fancy, you know, and it's more it's more
fancy.
luxurious. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, that's having like a Ferrari in the driveway to me, you know.
Exactly.
I never ever, you know, because like I said, back to going to football games and things like that, you see turf and everybody's excited that the field's turfed, you know, and now people are turfing their yards and you know, growing up, that was always like a privilege to even touch turf, you know, and you know, because I'm used to getting freaking those burrs in my arms and falling on the ground and getting
Turf burn.
getting grass burn and then the turf was just like, oh my God, this is so cool, you know. But yeah, especially a turf definitely adds that level of that wow factor when it's like sitting around a pool and, you know, you got your lawn chairs and things like that. It's very presentable. So that's
Always clean.
It's always clean. Yeah. So I think that, you know, you're in an excellent business to grow, you know, and things like that. I know, dude, Larry, he's very lovable.
He's just like Turfy.
Yeah.
I stopped petting her. She's
Yeah.
her name's Turfy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Got
So
you another shot.
another
right there.
thing. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
That Lunazul, man. I should have picked up some oranges. $20, baby. That bottle. That's what all the local restaurants and things they use as their house tequila. And I mean they're charging $10 a shot for it, and you can get the bottle for $20. Yeah. So yeah, it's
next time with the bottle.
man, it's a no-brainer. It's crazy, dude. The markup that these restaurants and bars are putting on these bottles. You know, I went to, there's a bar. It's almost like a nightclub, really, right across the street from the studio. It's called Bottle Blonde. And you could go there, and if you know, a bottle of Tito's is like $40, you know, maybe less, 35. A bottle of Tito's there for bottle service is like $4.80, maybe more, $5.80. And it's like, man, just go home and drink some Tito's at the house,
Drink some
you know.
water.
Yeah, drink some water.
Get some water.
But yeah, man, Houston's a different breed, man. And that actually leads me into thank you guys for coming today. I know you drove all the way out from Beaumont, got a hotel, so you get to
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you get to kind of explore Houston. Y'all got any plans tonight?
No, I actually was gonna ask you like what the heck to do. Maybe depends, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. That sun wore me out today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking. I was like,
It'll do that.
almost put the business up for sale. Get all this, bro.
Yeah, it's time to get rid of it. Yeah. Well, I tell you this. Last weekend, I hopped in the pool for probably an hour and a half. Man, I got back inside. I had a friend that wanted to go to the wine bar, and I was like, brother, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in the sun for like an hour and a half, and I'm like tapped out. Like I mean, it'll drain you, you know. Even if you're just relaxing, you know, that it'll just beat down and take out the energy from you, pull the energy from your soul, you know.
Did I text you earlier? I said,
Yeah.
bro, I was dead serious. I was like, bro, I forgot I owned a phone. Like, my phone was sitting down on this little kiddie table. I left it there for like 2-3 hours. Like, dang, I forgot where's my phone at.
I know.
And I was just like,
Well, that's a good thing, man. That means you're busy. You know, that means you're active. You know, and a lot of people, if they don't have their phone for a minute, they start feeling anxious. You know, they start feeling not normal. So I think that ability to disconnect from that outer social media world is necessary in a sense where, you know, you kind of have a clearer mind. You know, you get caught up in social media, scrolling TikTok. I mean, I'll sit down and scroll TikTok for an hour, and I'll look up and say, what the hell, you know,
flies by,
man.
Flies by.
And I mean, you see some ridiculous stuff on there. I mean, people can get creative. So
I'm not gonna lie, I see some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what?
I know.
I watch a lot of YouTube though.
Oh, okay.
A lot of YouTube.
YouTube is honestly, it's king. You know, I mean, and it's a great, like I said, it's a great time to have content out there, and you know, you have kind of these pioneers like of course the big names like Mr. Beast, you know, that's going out and giving away, you know, 26 Tesla Cybertrucks for his 26th birthday, and kind of doing crazy things like filling a pool full of nerds, just
Mr. Beast does
several hundred gallons of like candy inside a swimming pool. I mean, just ridiculous stuff, and giving away money, and I mean, it's a crazy time, and YouTube kind of helped promote people that are doing crazy things like that. And the thing is, a lot of people are interesting. A lot of people are doing cool things, and all they need to do is just post it, figure out how to advertise and post. And honestly, that's the key. And by not doing that, in this day and age is a loss, because I mean, people are like, oh yeah, the internet was booming, back in 2010, but really, it's booming now, and it's really an amazing tool. It can be used as a tool. It can be used as almost a weapon in a sense. So yeah, you definitely have to watch it. But if you approach it right, man, it's a good tool to use. And businesses such as yourself have the ability to reach people that they've never reached before, Exactly. And I'm realizing that now, because, I'm 2 months into this podcast. I think we're finishing up month 2, and, this will be episode 28. And dude, from episode 1, where I had one guest lined up, I'm booked for the next 3 weeks. Like, I have people booked every day for the next 3 weeks. And it's so insane, because it's people that, I started this, and I was reaching out to people, hey, you want to do the podcast? I'm just starting out, I'm from Houston, yada, yada, yada. People are like, oh, like, sure, how many followers do you have? If it was just a verbal conversation, I'm like, well, right now I have 28. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, it's cool, they never heard anything from them. Yeah, but, it's starting to gain traction. People are, people are wanting to come on and present what they're doing, which is amazing. Because, the reason I started this is because I couldn't figure out what I wanted,
Is it all right if I answer this, my little brother?
Absolutely. Yeah. Answer him. Tell him I said hi.
What you doing? I'm on a podcast and you're ruining it.
Oh, you're on a podcast?
What's his name?
Yeah, Donovan.
Here. Shout out Donovan. Donovan, what's going on, my brother?
That's good.
Oh, not shit. I'm over here. We're over here running a little podcast out in Houston.
He's actually in Utah now. He lives in Utah.
Oh.
I'll follow you.
It's called Spacejumper, at Spacejumper Podcast. You can find me on Instagram. You can find our videos on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music. Yeah, we're out there. We're just getting started. We're on month 2.
Hey, your podcast? Is it the red logo?
No, I don't think it's red. It is red. It's like an orangish red. Yeah.
On there, right there.
He's not in charge of his Instagram.
Yeah.
He's not a manager for his media.
Ah, I see.
Why you got Dylan on the podcast?
Hey man,
yeah. I'm gonna let y'all box this one out here.
Look, man. Man, all these quizzes. The quiz is going on over here.
Right? Yeah.
No.
That boy said, "Why is Dylan on there?"
No more raps.
Not yet. We got a little bit more tequila to drink tonight.
All right, let me get off of here. Yeah, hey, I forgot y'all an hour behind. I'll call you when we finish up.
All right.
Yeah, because I hung up on you earlier.
You what?
I hung up on you earlier.
Oh, yeah, because...
Yeah, playing around too much. Bye, man.
All right.
Yeah, man, he called me earlier. Actually, he texted me. I'm going to show you.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
What's that boy doing in Utah? Oh,
I'm going to tell you that, too.
No. I already know what that means.
So he sends me this earlier. You can scroll to
Holy
the right.
shit. Is that an Amazon truck?
Yeah, he just got hired on an Amazon, right? And he drives those. And he sent that to me.
Did he flip it?
Look, let me tell the story. Look. So he sends me those. I'm working today in the heat.
Oh, crap.
I had just picked my phone up.
For those of you that are listening, it's a tumbled Amazon truck.
Yeah. It's flipped over. So he sends me that, and I'm like, dying outside, working, sweating, like about dizzy. I'm like, bro, I
dude.
gotta take a break. So I get my phone, and he sends me that, and it like clicks me back into reality. I'm like, whoa. He's like, he texts me. Oh, look, I'll say what he said. He says, bro, am I fired, dog? I'm scared, bro.
Oh man.
I'm like, I didn't even text back. You can see,
Dude, that's hilarious. There's packages like just leaning up against the truck.
I instantly call him. I'm like, what's going on? Like,
you may have to send that to me. I'll clip that baby in.
I'm gonna send it to you. So he's like, I called him. He's like, I'm like, what's going on? You all right? He's like, yeah, bro. I'm like, what happened? He's like, it fell over.
Oh.
I'm like, how did it fall over?
It tipped.
I'm like, how did it fall over? He's like, I don't know, man. FaceTime me. So he gets on FaceTime. He's in a dark room with his headphones on talking about psych.
Oh.
I instantly hung up, and that was my first time talking to him since.
That's hilarious.
I was like, bro, don't play with me like that.
Yeah, man. Well, that's good that that's good that it wasn't him and that he's okay.
Yeah.
So he works for Amazon.
He does. He just got on.
Wow.
He said he got that from a Reddit post.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I forget.
Yeah, man. I think Amazon's amazing. They're doing some really cool stuff, you know. And I have, you know, a couple complaints about the deliveries here at the studio, because I'll have, you know, they have it's called Luxor One, and what it is, it's like a bunch of electronic boxes that that when you have a delivery, people can put a code in, the box will open.
I've seen those.
And then you close it, and it's set to that person. So it'll send you a message on your phone and give you like the code to open the box whenever you're ready.
Like a Little Caesars joint.
Yeah, and yeah.
I like that. I do love Little
Is that what
Caesars.
Little Caesars does?
They have that little, when you go pick it up, you order it, and you put the little code in, they send it to you.
Ah,
And
see,
then-
I don't go to Little Caesars, bro. I put down the Little Caesars pizza a couple years back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have them genes. You know, I don't have the good genetics. I got to stay away from that pizza.
I ain't gonna lie. You know, I'll be eating the whole pizza.
Hey, I tell you what, you know, back in the day, my boy Cole, you remember Colby Smart?
Yeah.
Man, I would go to his house, and you know, his parents would be gone for the weekend, and they would leave us some money, and they had a Little Caesars right in Lumberton, right where you know, because right by his house.
That's the one I go to now.
Yeah, right off of Green. What's I know the roads.
It's right there by that
it's like
Market Basket or HEB.
That's right. Yeah, it's
yeah.
called Green something, Green Point or something. I don't really know, but anyways, yeah, man. The key was you go there, you get a pepperoni pizza and a 2-liter Pepsi. Like, dude, the Pepsis from Little Caesars they hit so hard.
I bet they did. I've never had Pepsi in my life.
What?
I've had
dude.
Coke. Is Coke like?
Yeah,
the
it's
other-
like it's similar. Obviously, it's different companies and things like that, and slightly different flavors, but it's the same concept. They're both caked with
Just
sugar,
not-
and
I've never been a soda person.
that's probably good. Yeah,
Soda queen.
Soda queen, man. I tell you, I gotta stay away from the sodas because I'll drink some soda, man. I will blow up like a balloon, bro. Like
Telling you.
it's crazy.
Especially Coke, bro. I seen my grandpa used to use that to take rust off of cars.
Yeah. You
Like, literally
like
Coke.
batteries that are like
Corroded.
Yeah, you put the Coke on, it just goes
clean
away.
it out. I
And
used
it's
to be
crazy.
like-
And you know, you drinking that, you know,
Drinking, you sit there, you know, pour some on there, screw it in, drink. I'm like, this is it. That's it's got to go one way, either on the battery
exactly.
or in you. But it looks like it goes on the battery.
Yeah, if mechanics are using it, you probably shouldn't drink it, you know. But yeah, the first time I think my dad taught me that, he was like, "Yeah, just pour some Coke on that battery terminal," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, bro.
And he was like, "Yeah, it'll eat away all the corrosion and all the battery acid and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, well, let me try it." I did it, and it just dissolved. And it's like, what? You know, like that's probably not good. You know,
Yeah.
And you know, I was always a Coca-Cola drinker, and especially those Mexican Coca-Colas in the
glass-
bottles,
the glass
dude.
bottle.
They hit so hard. It's different, man. It's different. It's like a warm hug from somebody you love. You know, like
My grandpa had probably 10 to 15 of them on this shelf because they were like collector items for him.
Yeah,
Is that
the
what you're talking about?
classics. Yeah,
the classic Coke
yeah,
glass.
that's right.
He probably had like 3 or 4 empty ones. I swear, my grandma, she loves Coke. She kept Coke. She ran out of Cokes. I remember one day she went and grabbed one. She's like, "How many does he have left? Like, how many did he drink?" And she was trying to make it seem like, no, you already drunk that one. But yeah, long story short, he ended up catching her and was like, he was pissed for like 2-3 weeks. Oh, well, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people are serious about their Coca-Cola, man. Yeah, don't play.
Yeah,
I love some Coca-Cola, though. I can't lie. Yeah, and that's kind of why I transitioned into like sparkling water, no sugar sparkling water. That burn, it's the burn. It's like that. That
shit burn.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
It's almost an addictive feeling,
Bro, I will drink. I remember there was so many times I was so thirsty. I drink some soda and it burned. I'm like, why did I just drink that?
Yeah,
and that burn is. I don't like it at all.
I love it, man. If I'll go on a jog, I'll go on I'll jog a couple miles. Me and Larry, I'll come back and I'll bust open a sparkling water and I'll go.
No,
and it'll just burn. I'm like, yeah. It's therapeutic, man.
Yeah, you're savage.
It's probably from Coca-Cola abuse back in the day, just looking for that itch, that looking for that
fix.
Yeah, that fix. Yeah, make me into a new person. But yeah, man, it's life is so crazy, and you never know what you're gonna run into, and yeah, man, it's crazy how time changes and things change over time and how you have to adjust. And I think that in the business that you're in, it's a great business because not in a sense where you don't actually have to adjust for other people. People are adjusting for you, I feel like turf is the new age,
Yep.
and it's
the future.
It's the innovation.
I call it the future.
Yeah. And so I think that being a part of something that people are moving into is great rather than being something that people are moving away from, I'm sure that that real grass and is still being purchased, pallets of grass and things like that.
Yeah, Southeast Texas real grass.
Yeah.
Sod. I get calls all the time for sod.
What is sod? Is sod just a regular grass?
Regular
grass. Okay.
Yeah, that's never gonna get away from that in Southeast Texas.
Yeah.
All the
especially because dogays are running.
They're never gonna get rid of it.
Yeah, they're making calls over there. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch out, man. They'll be they'll be putting hits out on all the turfers. we got to get rid of.
I'll switch over to sod.
Yeah. Whatever you need,
Telling you.
Well, cheers. Yeah, another round of the tequila, baby.
What's it called again? Lazuna.
Lana, Jesus Christ! It's already seeping into my veins.
Lana, what?
Well, I'm gonna be slurring after a minute.
What it's called, but
it's good. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Lunazul,
man. It's honestly the go-to. I know a lot of people that like it. I know Spacejumper is one of the bigger ones. Of course, it's in this big fancy like ceramic.
You're talking about
yeah. Spacejumper is a bottle of tequila. It's like higher end tequila. You get a bottle for like $150 or something like that for like 750 mils. But it's excellent tequila, and it's probably my favorite tequila. But in
this 750 mils right here.
That yes.
And how much is this?
$20.
And you said how much is?
Spacejumper is around 150 and up.
And it's the same amount?
Same amount, yeah.
What's his name?
What's his name?
What's the bottle name?
It's more of a her, I think.
A her?
Because she will steal your pride. It's called Spacejumper.
Yeah. I got a message for Claze. Look at Claze.
Yeah. Well, Claze, she walks like she owns the place. She walks in heels, dress, hair done. Like, yeah, she's going in to make a statement. Last time I drank Spacejumper, I'm pretty sure that I completely destroyed my ACL in my knee. I was jumping on the trampoline with my nieces. And of course, I was, half, 3/4 of a bottle in at this point. And, I'm jumping on the trampoline and my nieces are like, Uncle Jared, bounce me. So I'm trying to I'm trying to send them to the moon,
No.
And they double bounce me and my knee snaps. And I'm laying there and they thought it was funny. And I'm sitting there going, and they're laughing, still bouncing. They thought I was, being funny. And in reality, dude, I was in so much pain. I remember I couldn't even move my body. And so I'm sitting there on the trampoline bouncing, my knees aching, my face is getting smashed up against the trampoline bottom. And these little girls are just having fun bouncing. And I was thinking, I am so screwed, And my knee hasn't been the same since, honestly. It's been it's been completely damaged. If I move one way or another, it just collapses, So the knees are one of those things that you kind of have to really take care of, over the years, because once it's damaged, it's damaged, and if you have to go in and surgically repair a knee, yes, you can do it, but I mean, it's just you're cutting through so many important parts, There's
a lot of risk.
And I guess that's the benefits of strengthening and doing I guess working your way back up after an injury and things like that.
Therapy.
Physical therapy and things like that. but yeah, man, it's very interesting. So back to the turf and landscape. What kind of obstacles are you running into? Like, what kind of difficulties and challenges are you facing in this business?
That's actually a great question, man. Because what I think about is when we're in Utah, challenges there are completely different challenges here.
Is it because weather or
weather? That's what I was getting to. That's exactly.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, weather here is a bitch,
horrible. But then again, you think about Utah, they're in winter 6-7 months out of the year. Snow, you can do indoor.
Is it pretty cold over there?
Utah?
Yeah.
In the winter? Hell yeah. Very cold in the winter.
I went in the summer one time, and it was like I said, it was beautiful, but the weather was amazing.
Yeah, if it rained, I think I was there for a year and a half. I think it rained twice, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe 3 times, maybe. Like I'm thinking about like worst case scenario 3 times.
Wow, it's rained 3 times this week here. Yeah, that could definitely throw a wrench into things.
That is the biggest. That's honestly number one here. Because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, when it rains, are you out for a certain time period, or can you get to it right after rain?
It depends on what step in the process we are. I mean, if we're doing the base, excavating the wheat granules, the weacular granules, the fabric, the crushed concrete. Once we get to the crushed concrete, we need it to stay dry, because that crushed concrete is there for drainage. It's there to soak in water.
Right.
So if it rains while that's uncovered, the turf's not on top of it, all it does is soak in that water, become very mushy. Sometimes it can not be as mushy. It might take a day of sunlight and it's back good. But if we get a heavy downfall and we're in the middle of doing the crushed concrete, it could be wet for a week, 2 weeks before we can get on there with a compactor.
That's insane. That's insane. So yeah, it takes some strategic planning in this business.
Very. My schedule, people, they're like, how far are you booked out on the schedule? I'm like, whatever the weather lets me.
Yeah. Are you following Johnny Lively on Facebook?
That's the boy right there.
Johnny. Yeah.
I follow Johnny.
Man, he's the weather guy. He almost came on a couple weeks ago, but he actually just recently had a baby girl.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah,
Congratulations, Johnny.
I know. Yeah. Shout out Johnny, man. He's the weather guy, man. I know he has some big plans coming up for his weather page and things like that. I know he had a couple job opportunities. I don't know if he would want me talking about it on here just yet. But yeah, man, I need to get him on because he's very knowledgeable on weather and
I follow him.
Yeah,
she'll even show me. She'll be like, "Look, this was the weather doing this week," and I'm like,
honestly,
Johnny.
Yeah,
it's Johnny every
man.
time.
Yeah, man. Shout out Johnny. He's such a good guy. I talked to him on the phone for probably 30 minutes last week, trying to get some stuff scheduled and trying to figure out when would be a good time for him to hop on. But but yeah, it's weather itself is a business in its own, where, everybody needs to know the weather and needs good predictions, for instance, in your career,
I'm not gonna say the names.
yeah, you need to be aware of what's happening and things like that. So I think, good, dependable weather predictions are very important.
Very, 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 very important, because this last week it was supposed to rain Monday through Thursday. I think it maybe rained once, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. And he was on point the whole time. Like, yeah, it's turning off to Mexico or whatever.
Yeah, Johnny was on point. What I seen, the other stuff I see, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
So because I have to plan around that,
right?
When I'm gonna get materials delivered, when I go pick up materials, we're gonna put this down, compact, edge, different things like that. So the weather plays a huge part. I have to let customers know, next customers that are on schedule, like, hey, it looks like we got rain for this amount of days. Probably going to push your job back this amount of days. I know you need to be finished by this time, so this is when we can get there and knock it out. Stuff plays a big part. Like the job we're on a daycare job, and then we started another job today in the middle of this one because this one got wet. It was on hold, so we're like, let's go hurry up and knock this one out. It's a small 300 square foot, but they need to be done by the 29th. So it's like, this is a quick window to get them done because I want to keep everybody happy. It's hard keeping everybody happy with the weather,
and you can't keep everybody happy.
Yeah, I try.
It's
my
good
best.
to try. Yeah,
I try my best.
But there's always going to be somebody that's mad about something.
Something, and I'm just like, you know what? I tried. Like she's just like, Dylan, you can't. You got to calm down.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to be have excellent customer service, but I waited tables for the longest, and that's kind of what taught me, like, man, you can't keep everybody happy, even if you're busting your ass and doing anything that you can to make sure that the service and that's provided and the quality is up to par.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna always complain. The chicken's always gonna be cooked too much, or there's always gonna be something wrong. But then you have good people, that understand,
that understand, recognize, see it. Yeah, cheers. Cheers to those great customers, man.
Cheers to good customers. Yeah,
they're all great customers
and good customer service.
Yeah, good customer service.
We need a sponsorship from some tequila companies.
What is
Lunazul.
Yeah, that. Not the. What's the other one?
Clase Azul. Man, we need some of that Clase.
Luna.
Yeah. I like Luna. Luna just sounds cool to say.
Luna sounds good to $20.
$20. Hey.
Man, the inflation is high right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I can't really $20.
$20.
I really don't drink that much. Though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've been trying to cut down my alcohol intake. And it is fun. But overdoing it is definitely a thing. And I drank way too much when I was younger. From freaking 16 to 21, I was anywhere I could get some beer or alcohol, man, I'm in. Like, let's go. Let's break some rules, Mm-hmm. And then when I turned 21, I'm like, all right, look, this isn't as fun as it was when I wasn't supposed to do it. Like, rebellious is one thing, but getting completely destroyed on substance and losing your mind is a little bit too much, and I've done it before, and it, like I said, it waking up the next day and getting older, my body doesn't react the way, I'm not bouncing up at 8 a.m. and going on a run after a long night of drinking anymore, like I used to, and
hell no.
Yeah, and so yeah, it becomes I'm
not even getting up and running whenever I'm sober. Hell no.
But you were talking about the preparation that it takes and kind of the planning with the weather. How are you managing your crews? Like, how are you getting your crews lined out and staying consistent with the work that they do?
Nobody ever believes me. They think, just like you're asking me, crews. It's literally just me and one other guy.
Oh, damn.
I have guys that I call.
Yeah.
If it's something big, I have machinery, things like that, but Most of the time it's just me and Luis.
Wow, that's excellent, man.
Yeah.
That and is Luis works for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow, it's crazy to have a small.
Shout out to my boy Luis.
Yeah,
man.
shout out Luis, man. I wish Luis was here drinking some tequila with us right now, man. But man, that's what's crazy because you know, that's a lot of work. And to kind of separate the work between two people, that's a big responsibility. But you know, there's very good benefits from only keeping a small crew. You know,
Yep.
you don't have a lot of moving parts. You know, you only
Overhead.
have to worry about a couple things. But when you have a team of 10, 15, you got, you know, things slip through the cracks. You know,
Yep.
people start slacking off. People are
don't
taking
show up.
people are taking a little extra on lunch. You know, not recording that they took lunch, and you know,
I've been through all of that.
it's a weird system, but you know, cutting out a lot of components, I think, enhances business in some aspect. You know, my brother, he's opening up a Jersey Mike's in Beaumont.
I seen that.
And so, you know, they actually reached out to him a couple days ago, and they were like, "Hey, man, like, we expect Beaumont to be popping off harder than we thought," and so they recommended hiring 65 people, 65 employees, and they were like, "What?" You know, 65, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to do great, honestly.
Insane though, you know,
65 is
They
crazy.
recommend 65 employees and
Off the rip?
off the rip, and training. I think sending like 10 to like full training, full training, and taking like the lead roles,
positions, yeah.
and then kind of dishing in and out the rest of them. But 65. I mean,
65
and
is
you know,
crazy.
and I've tried to get some of my friends. I'm like, hey man, like there's some good leadership roles at Jersey Mike's, because I mean, people think it's just a sandwich shop, but it is a sandwich shop, but it's a crazy career. Like, I'm friends with some of the people that work here at Jersey Mike's in Houston, and they've been there for 10 years and they're making six figures. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. There's money to be made in these big successful companies. So I think, you know, there's a benefit in taking a management role in these places. And you know, I even offered somebody recently, you know, a recent, you know, college graduate, you know, I was like, hey man, like they have a leadership role here. It starts out, I mean, it's not the best to start out, you know, starting out at like 16 an hour plus tips. Yep. I said, but you know, the role's moving into almost a six-figure spot. And man, I can't get anybody to, you know, I can't get none of my friends to bite, you know, because they're like, man, that's a sandwich shop. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't know. I've heard of Jersey Mike's. I don't know what it is though. I've never had it or like never been in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's a New Jersey style sub, and they make sandwiches, and it's very good quality. I actually had Jersey Mike's today, and
For real?
yeah, and we're not affiliated with any of the Houston spots, but I just love Jersey Mike's. You know, before my brother even kind of got into the business with that, I was like, man, I just love Jersey Mike's. It's fresh. They're not stingy. You order a sandwich, it comes out with like.
Oh, you said they're not stingy?
Not stingy. I mean,
Great.
yeah.
Great in Beaumont.
I mean, they're putting on like, I mean, pounds of whatever meat you get. You know, I mean, it's awesome. So yeah, I would rep Jersey Mike's even if my brother wasn't associated with them. But it's really amazing the opportunities out there. You know. So yeah, just to kind of end that topic, they're moving into the place right by Nothing Bundt Cakes, and right there by Parkdale Mall in Beaumont. You know where like I don't you know Nothing Bundt Cakes is right by almost by Buffalo Wild Wings. In that area,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't even be like I barely
You know where
go
Lowe's
in that
is?
area.
You know where Lowe's is? Home Depot.
I know where Home Depot is for sure.
It's right by Home Depot.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right by Home Depot. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's right by
There's
Parkdale Mall.
that little
On
hair
Dallin.
supply store by Home Depot.
I don't know if there's a hair supply. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Hold
But
on,
yeah,
no.
it's right off of Dowling.
Somewhere in Dowling.
Yeah,
Dowling area.
it'll be a good little hit. But I'm like, man, I told my brother, I was like, man, when I come into Beaumont, you're gonna have to hook me up with some Jersey Mike's, man. There's a sandwich there that I really love. It's a number 9, and the bacon.
What they got on there, man?
Brother, oh, dude, I'd have to actually look up. It's a couple combos of different meats, but the main one is they have the crispiest bacon.
They got the crunchy bacon.
It's amazing bacon. I mean,
See, that's where Subway be slacking,
dude. Man, I went to Subway a couple weeks ago. I ate a couple bites of my stuff, and I was like, this is trash, dude. I got it. I threw it away. I left. I went back to work. You know.
Oh, hit the Bubba Dub.
I was like, man, get this shit out of my face, you know. but man, it's I guess to each their own. But I know Firehouse Subs is popping in Beaumont too. Yeah. Needy
Just
little guy.
like Turfy's just like that.
Needy
like
little
that.
guy.
You like? I'm done petting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like, all right, whatever. But man, when I wake up in the morning and like he's on a schedule, I'm not on a schedule, but he's on a schedule, and so around 8 o'clock, man, doesn't matter how late I stay up. He goes to bed at a certain time, and he wakes up at a certain time. 8 o'clock, dude. Larry, he's smacking me with his paw. He's like, I'm ready to go outside. You know, let's get this thing going. And one of the weird things is he started actually eating at night. I'll give him food, and he'll leave it throughout the whole day. And he'll wake up in the middle of the night, and he'll eat all his food and drink his water, and then he goes back to bed, and he'll do the same thing every day. He's a weird little guy. Yeah,
that Jack in the Box
Lunchy meal. It's probably my fault. He's probably inhaling some things.
Wake up kind of hungry.
Yeah, I look over at Larry, and he's just like slant eyed, just chilling. Like, oh man,
Larry, you all right?
I'm like,
Larry, speaking of Larry,
I'm
man,
like, Larry, you need to get new friends, man.
What was Larry's last name?
Which one?
He went to Larry went to Hart.
Larry.
Larry, he had the dreads.
Oh, Larry Walt. I want to say Watts.
Larry Watts.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Larry Watts.
I haven't seen Larry in so long.
Oh man, I wonder how he's doing.
Bro, I haven't seen Larry in so long.
Dude, he was in my neighborhood. He grew up in my neighborhood. I grew up in China too.
Yeah. I was about to say because I went to his house maybe 2 or 3 times. And were you close to where your brother?
Yes,
in that same area?
I grew up right on the other side of the street.
Okay, so I remember Larry. He was like at the beginning of that road.
Yes, that's right.
Beginning of the road. Yeah. I remember that.
Man, crazy times, man. It was some crazy times growing up in China, Texas, man.
I grew up on Moore though. I was over
Moore
there
Road.
in Westbury. They call it
Yeah,
Westbury.
dude, Moore Road was nice. My dad did home renovations and home building when I was growing up, and he did a couple houses down that street. There's a house. It's green.
Are they Nigerian?
Yes.
That house. I've been inside of there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what house you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's like futuristic.
Yes, yeah, he built that house. Yeah,
for real?
Yeah. So there's they're doctor, both the husband and wife. They're
I can
physicians.
tell there's something way up a high
Yeah,
level.
yeah,
I know
they're
exactly
both
what
doing excellent. I forgot their last names, but yeah, no, he built the house, and then I hope I'm not butchering the story. It's been years ago. Built the house, they liked it, and then he built the mother-in-law house next to it. So
Yep, there. Yep.
yeah,
There's
and
that
so
little house.
yeah, actually, my prom date for I think junior year, there was a girl that lived off of Moore Road. She was an exchange student from Germany, and I was like, hey, you want to go to prom? You know, it's her first year in the United States, and you know, I was probably nervous. I was young. I was very inexperienced with speaking to women and things like that.
HJ?
At HJ, yeah. And so I actually forgot her name. I wish I didn't, but yeah, we went to prom. You know, I was like I said, I was young. I didn't know how to present myself or anything, and so I pick her up, and you know, we go to prom. We hang out. I think we go to like a small after party afterwards. Then I go and drop her off, and on the way home, you know, I was like, oh, you know, did you have fun? You know, is it was it different than you know, Germany? Mm-hmm. She was like, well, it wasn't what I expected. And I was like, what do you mean? And that was back when what is that show with Zac Efron?
The High School Musical.
High School Musical.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
said
yeah.
I watched High School Musical, and I was like expecting it to be like like that. And I was like she
Hell
thought I was
no.
Zac Efron. Like she thinks I'm about to come in that baby singing. Like I was
We're
like,
not
man,
all in this together.
Man, yeah, right, yeah, man. False expectations. Wah wah wah. Damn.
Oh
Yeah.
snap! That's funny.
Yeah. Have a good night. Bye. Yeah. I don't know. I dropped the ball on that. I didn't have any Zac Efron vibes that night. So
What you needed was what's that guy's that was always with him? The curly hair. Is it Corbin Blue?
that's right.
Corbin,
Yeah.
You needed Corbin Blue, and then you need. What happened to that guy?
Man, dude, what happened to a lot of these Disney guys? Yeah.
Where's Zach and Cody?
Yeah.
Oh no, I seen them on what's that show called? Riverdale.
Oh, are they on Riverdale?
I know for sure one of them
I
is.
haven't seen it.
One of them is. They might both be on there. I know
Yeah.
for sure one of them is.
I think that they were doing like a remake of like Zach and Cody or something like that. Like Zach and Cody all grown up. Yeah.
Look here, Disney. Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
They just stop all that.
Yeah,
Disney, go ahead.
Nickelodeon. I think they got some heat. I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a photo or something the other day where it was like the Nickelodeon splat looked like Epstein's Island, or was like the shape of Epstein's Island.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you like repositioned it and like kind of turned it in a certain way, it was like the same layout is the island. I don't know if that's true.
I
That's just
haven't seen it.
It's probably just some clickbait stuff that I saw, but I read it and I was like, oh damn, like
That's kind of cool. That's kinda, I like it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nickelodeon. Maybe not Nickelodeon.
yeah,
But I know they did that. So SpongeBob was my favorite. It still is my favorite.
The
I don't
Krusty
care.
Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. Yeah.
Bro, I grew up on SpongeBob. My mom hated. Matter of fact, rest in peace, mom. But she hated SpongeBob. Like she's like, there. Can you say gay on here?
Yeah.
She's like, they're gay. Don't watch that. I'm like, I don't care. But no, SpongeBob was my stuff. But I seen they made like a new SpongeBob. It's like the Patrick Show or something like that.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's like
no.
the Patrick Star Show or something.
God, I
So
can
it's like
imagine.
instead of SpongeBob, it's Patrick now.
Oh,
So
God.
I've seen a couple episodes. One of them, I was like, ah.
Yeah,
It's like they're trying to remake a lot of our stuff, growing up. I'm like,
yeah. And what's crazy is like the new I guess shows and things like that. They make it like real like HD, like 4K, and it just doesn't look the same as that old style.
static, old school.
And who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Like they done remade that. They put like
They're doing too much.
yeah.
Sorry, bro. I keep getting you off track.
No. It's all good. Yeah, this is everything goes on this podcast. It's nothing's set, but the main goal is representing what you do and what you're doing is really awesome. I think that it's really cool that shout out to Mike Will, because I got to get him on the show too, because
He'll come.
I think he does some really amazing things. I know he took off and he was I don't want to tell his story. I don't really know his story very well, but I know he served for a couple years, and then I know that he had been moving around for a while. I lived
Everywhere.
I lived at the apartments in China, Texas, and he lived on the opposite side. And I would
You were
always
there
see
at
him.
that time?
Yeah,
That's crazy,
And so
yeah.
I would always see
The Terminax truck.
yeah, that's right. That boy would pull it. Yeah, that's right. Holy cow, man, he's made some headway. And one thing I could say about Michael is he's always on track. He's always doing something. He's not gonna let anything interrupt his motion. And it seems like he's made some headway in the past 10 years since high school. We just had our 10-year high school reunion.
Y'all did, not me yet, but it's coming.
Man, it's
I know,
coming,
yeah,
man. It's
y'all
coming.
Old as shit.
Hey, and you should go too. I tell people that they should. At first I was like, man, high school reunion, man, I'm not going to that.
I'm going.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to that. But man, I showed up, and Dude, we had a big bash at Madison's. Everybody was, they started drinking, and of course, it's Hunter Cooley, Jared Gieske, all the boys from back in the day, and
y'all got the squad.
yeah, and so we were up in there, and we ended up going from there to Little Woodrow's, which pops off in Beaumont. I didn't realize how big
Little
Woodrow's
Woodrow's?
is, bro. I
Woodrow's
pulled
is
up
nice.
there.
Woodrow's
And
is
I was
nice.
like, I have not seen this many people at a Beaumont bar or club or bar. I don't know. I don't really know what I would consider Woodrow's. I guess a bar. But I was like, man, this place is packed out,
You should see the park on Calder.
Hey, you did the turf on that, right?
Yeah, we did.
Man, how is
Shout out my
that?
guy DeAndre.
Oh, shout out DeAndre.
You said how was it?
Yeah. How was the process on that job?
It was actually it was just pretty straightforward. So the biggest thing that helped with that job is they were getting a new fence.
So you could bust
that
down the fence,
get that out the way,
get the excavator in there.
great equipment. The equipment did everything on that job. So it was pretty straightforward.
Did you get to knock it out pretty quick?
How
How long does a job usually take? I mean, I know there's a lot of components.
It depends. But that job really probably worked on it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks total of us working.
Sure.
But they had different things going on that kind of we couldn't work at certain times. They were doing changes. They were doing a little. It was kind of in the midst of being built while we
Right.
were trying to do turf at the same time. So there was a lot of things that were. Some days we couldn't work. They needed it done by a certain day while we were still on another project. So it was kind of get as much as we can done over here. Oh, it rained. It didn't rain in Beaumont. Let's go to Beaumont. Do as much as we can here. Oh, let's drive over here. Let's go back over there. Oh, they're working on something here. We can't work there right now. Let's go back over. It was kind of like a.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot to think about, man. That's
It was crazy.
How are you maneuvering through all these thoughts? Because I mean, that's a lot to keep up with. Are you writing this down on like a notepad or?
No, bro. I honestly
Keeping that
don't.
big
I
with it?
keep everything.
Man, you need to start writing.
I
This down.
need to,
Yeah.
but
That's a lot.
we haven't got to the point where it's not like Utah. Utah, everything was written down. Like it was Utah. They want turf.
Right.
They already know the process. They know the cost. They know everything. So you go do a bid. They're like, oh, all right. Where do I send a check? Where do I pay to get on the schedule? They're like, they're ready. So out there, I was booked out 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So yeah.
I could see the it may not be too bad, making a move, or even just making this thing a multi-state thing, and kind of running it.
I was getting there.
Yeah, running something and just kind of managing people, elsewhere, It's,
I was getting there.
That's right.
So, you know how you
Cheers,
asked me? Oh, cheers. You know how you asked me how my brother got in Utah?
Oh, you done put that man to work. Or is he putting himself to work?
He's putting himself to work. So, what happened was August last year. Was it August? When we went to Utah? August 2023. We had 2 jobs out there.
So a year ago. Yeah, that's almost
About a year ago, yeah. So about a year ago. A year ago, we went out there. I ended up selling 2 jobs while I was out here working. They called me from Utah because I still get calls from Utah. But I refer him to, I got a guy named Luis, which is actually one of Mike's old workers. He has his own company now.
Is this the same Luis that?
No, it's
Okay,
another Luis.
okay,
Another
okay,
Luis.
okay.
Another Luis. So I got the call from Utah from a general contractor. He said, hey, I got 2 houses, brand new houses. We want to turf every single thing, landscape, everything. We don't want any maintenance. I'm like, okay, how many square foot on each house? Probably about 20,000 square feet total. I'm like,
Gee.
all right, I'll send you over a quote. So I had my guy, Luis, that's in Utah. We kind of teamed up on this one.
Right.
And he went out there, measured, met with him, got measurements for everything, went over everything. I sent over the quotes. Basically, I subbed him out to do the work, but we went out there and actually helped on the first project to make sure everything was going good.
Yeah. Oversight.
Yeah, and we left the second project. We were there for about a month and a half. My brother's 22 now. He was 21 at that time. 21-year-olds. They're in a new state. They're somewhere new. We actually had a crew then. I had 5 guys with me and 4 guys with me. and my little brother Donovan. Dating websites.
Dude, hey, when I was like, man, why is he out there? I was like, I already know. There's only one thing that can make me go. There's only one thing that can make me go a couple miles out of, a couple hundred miles out.
A couple thousand miles.
Hey, if it's good,
Yeah. So he got on the dating website. He found him a girl.
Wow.
She's actually really great. Shout out Kate. Her family, awesome. They took Donovan in.
Wow.
Got him a car out there. Got him a
wow.
job. Taking care. He has his own RV he lives in.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That man's living it.
Yeah, he's living it, and he's like her dad, multi-millionaire. That is crazy.
What?
But
wait, you said your brother is?
my brother, father-in-law, basically.
Ah.
Yeah, so
They got a setup then, yeah.
they got it set up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, you said 22.
She's 22
Dude,
now.
at 22, man, if you're making moves for the future, if you're looking towards the future, I think that's excellent because there's a lot of 22-year-olds that aren't even. There's a lot of 30-year-olds that aren't even thinking about
what's next,
or what they're doing next week. Even there, a lot of people. I play Call of Duty and I get on games and stuff, but there's a lot of people that only play. I like to get my business done, and that's kind of like an extra thing,
That's like my stress relief, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
I play Call of Duty for stress relief.
You on Warzone?
I'm on whatever you on, baby. I'm telling you, bro.
You got a PC or console?
I'm on PS5.
I
literally have a PC, but I don't have it hooked up.
Dude, I think PC is the way to go. I'm on Xbox. My gamer tag is Spacejumper 615. By the way, if anybody wants to add me.
See, you can't say all. You got to say the numbers behind it because Activision.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Activision ID. Yeah. Cancel that. I'll just post. I'll post it. but yeah. That's a little too much. But yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy how competitive these people get on these games, and man, I'll hop on.
I'm the people.
Yeah, hey, bro, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll get on there, and I mean, for example, I hopped on last night. I had a podcast last night. I ended it around 10. I called my friends. I'm like, hey man, like, what are y'all doing? We're on Warzone. I hop on 10 p.m. 3:45 in the morning. I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, oh, I was like, guys, it's almost 4 a.m. And so we were killing it though. We were on like
Harry was eating.
That boy was. Yeah, I hear Jaws just crunching over there, but yeah, no, it's 3:45 and we're on like a four win streak in ranked. So
you can't get off.
We can't get off.
No.
I had a guy that was supposed to get off at like midnight because he had work at 5 in the morning. It's 4 o'clock. So yeah, he ended up going to work today, and he texted in the group chat. We got a big group chat going. He was like, man, fuck this. He's like, I'm going to bed, dude. Like, I think he said he went in the parking lot and took a nap in his car, but I could see where that would be a thing because we were just destroying though.
You can't get off when you're winning.
Can't get off.
Get off. If you leave, I'm not playing with you no more.
Yeah, dude, I know, and that's like the worst thing. We'll be playing ranked with people, and they're like, middle of the game, they're hopping off, so they're AFK, and we're like, dude, are you serious? Like, man, like, come on now,
don't join up anymore.
Yeah, and that's definitely a problem. But 3:45 yesterday, we hop off, and I was playing with my cousin, and he lives next door to me. He lives in the apartment next door, and so
wait, right here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so he calls me. It's like like I said, 3:45. He's like, hey, are you hungry? And I'm like,
DoorDash.
And no. Here's the thing, bro. We walk across the street to Burger Bodega because they're open until 5 or 4:30 in the morning.
Hold on.
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about? We in Houston.
Yeah, Houston's different.
He's like, well, we're gonna go eat it at 11 o'clock. I'm like, that's probably when places open.
Yeah, no, Zalat for pizza. Zalat across the street, they're open till 4. Burger Bodega is open till 4. Katz is open 24/7. There's a bunch of great spots around here. A bunch of gyms that offer services like almost until like any time that you could think of, really.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, if y'all are in the mood for smash burgers, have y'all eaten yet?
What is smash burger? Is that purple?
Purple Kush? No.
Is it a purple logo?
No. It's a yellow logo. It's so here's what a smash burger is. So a smash burger, they get these patties and they have this metal press, and they press the patties down, make them real thin, like bacon thin, and they put cheese on them, stack them up. They put like three thin smashed patties on one layer. Put some sauce, maybe some chopped onions and bread, and that's the sandwich. And it's excellent. It's very good. If y'all are in he's like, what's this?
What's that?
I don't know how long y'all are staying in Houston.
Be here till Monday.
Trill Burger is excellent.
That's where we're going. That's Bun B.
Yeah, Bun B. Yeah, Trill Burger is excellent. Burger Bodega is excellent. I have a lot of places for you. What are y'all in the mood for? What kind of food y'all?
I let my lady pick. Because first thing she
what kind of food you looking for?
Yeah. I'm gonna get some Chipotle.
Let's see.
I'm hungry. That's crazy. Ethan Cooper called me on the way here to get on Warzone.
What? Hey, shout out Ethan, man.
His ass was drunk.
As always. That boy, that boy has he has established, back in the day, he established a certain dominance in the locker room. I won't even say what, but.
Oh, man, dude. I'm dead, man.
Man, I'm telling you, everybody's like, man, Ethan.
Because Ethan was like 3 years old. What did he graduate? Like 13?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, he was a year ahead of me. I was
2
14.
years older than me. Yeah. I remember the Ethan in the locker room. I used to be like, okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I gotta dip, man. I
gotta go back to JV.
Man, yeah, I was like, man, I'm not even hopping in this shower, man. Yeah. Oh, Ethan, man. Yeah. I love Ethan. Ethan's dad, he coached me all through little league basketball and things like that.
He coached.
Yeah, man. He was Cooper, man. That
what was it? Blue? No, that's Jared's dad. That's Mitchell's. That's the Mitchell's dad.
Yeah. We just called him Coop. That's what my dad called him. That's what I called him. But man, he was he was always so very, very kind and helpful when it come to basketball. He's the one that helped me get my shot right, and told me this is how you shoot. Because I was never taught. I didn't start out basketball at a young age. I started out kind of late when it really mattered in middle school and things like that. But as far as actually learning the basics of basketball, man, I was in little dribblers, but I wasn't very good. I was this little chunky little Hispanic man, a little Hispanic boy wobbling around the court. Shooting. If I got the ball and I was shooting, I was not hitting anything, bro. I was airballing to the max.
What's his name? I know you see. I think it's Vasquez for the Heat.
Oh,
he
man,
just got drafted.
I'm not up on things, man. I need to be.
Dude's a baller.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent out there.
I was talking about Hispanics.
Oh, yeah. Is he short though?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. He is probably like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8".
A Hispanic man.
Yeah.
What?
Bro, look at my
representing, bro.
Oh, he's nice.
Man, I'm 5'10". Man, actually, I'm mad because I went to the doctor the other day and they check your height and it was like they put 5'9" down, and I'm like, hold on now, like I'm 5'10", They're like, well, you're 5'9.5", and I'm like, well, we round up, don't be doing me like that,
bro. Give me that.
Don't be doing me like that. But yeah, height is one of those things that always kind of my primary physician when I was growing up told me I was gonna be tall, and when I was in little league football, man, I would pound monsters, and so I like to blame my stunted growth on Monster Energy.
Oh man, you was drinking that?
I was drinking it, dude. Yeah, I was drinking a lot of it. Like before every football game, before every practice. So unhealthy. I mean, the sugar in there alone is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I never liked Red Bull, Monster, none of that. I just recently started drinking coffee, and I don't even drink. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even drink the coffee. Babe, What did I do this morning for my coffee?
He took a spoonful and put it in his mouth.
I literally take the coffee grind, get a spoon, get the coffee grinds, put them in my mouth, and just drink warm water. I don't even drink the coffee. That's all I do.
Is it effective?
Very.
Oh, great.
You don't have to sit there and drink it. It's hot. Forget all that.
Wow.
Just eat the coffee grinds. They like melt in your mouth. Put some warm water.
They
drink it straight
melt
down.
in the mouth?
They melt in your mouth.
What?
I thought they'd be like hard, crunchy.
That's what I'm
chewy.
thinking, yeah.
No, they just melt. Just melts in your
Holy
mouth.
cow. And do you get like a caffeine rush?
Yeah.
What? I had a guy on, shout out Barry Ramirez. He was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, have you ever heard of coffee enemas? And I'm like, what?
What is that?
So do you know what an enema is?
I don't know how to spell that.
Enema.
Sound like Eminem.
An anonymity? Yeah, no.
Eminem.
No, an enema is when you this is just like a generic explanation, but it's basically when you shoot water or some type of laxative or saline up your ass, and it loosens your bowels, and then you can release like constipation and things like that. Well, apparently there's a therapeutic and anti-cancer benefit from doing coffee enemas, and it was like in the past, like in like 1990s and early 2000s, this was like a thing, and it was common for inflammatory, anti-cancer and things like that. But yeah, apparently you get coffee and you do an enema with the coffee, and it has all of these benefits. So he asked me, I was like, man, I've never tried that. But there's a book that was written early 1990s, I believe, and it's called the Gersher theory. I'm not sure. I'm butchering it, but he was a physician that wrote a book about these benefits of doing coffee enemas, and I was like, no, I've never tried it, but I looked up the benefits, and apparently, in theory, the benefits are positive, and you think about shooting coffee up your butt, and you're like, what are you talking about? But apparently there's a science behind it. So I'm just introducing another method for you. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
She wasn't even listening.
I'm on TikTok.
Coffee
She on
enemas.
TikTok. Coffee. Tell her Google it.
Coffee enema.
How you even spell that?
ENEMA.
Coffee. Anemone.
Anonymity. 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Yeah. Nemo.
Let's see here.
What does it say?
Coffee, I don't know how to say that. It's a type of colon cleanse used in alternative medicine.
So you shoot
During
coffee?
the procedure, a mixture of brewed coffee and water is inserted into the colon through the rectum.
Yeah.
How you shoot it up there?
So
There's like a
thing you can get at Walgreens.
like a Jello shot.
It's
needle?
like, yeah, almost.
That's what it
Yeah. And yeah, you just it's a colon cleanser apparently, and so yeah, I know.
So, look, this is what's going through my mind the whole time you're saying this.
Oh no.
Whenever I drink coffee, I have to shit. Really, like it makes me have to take a shit.
Yeah.
I have to go.
I mean, yeah.
Shooting the coffee up into your shit is crazy.
It's like dumb shit.
I'm about to look into.
Hey,
You know
I mean,
what?
hey, alternative therapies. I mean, I work in cancer research. That's my day job.
Oh, for real?
And yeah, so I work in a big facility, a very well-known organization, I guess you should say. And I'm in charge of doing a lot of cancer research, and I work with drug companies, and they contact me to do experiments that involve XYZ. We do a lot of molecular testings, and also testings on model organisms such as like mice.
Oh, for like test.
Yes. And so, you know, I know what chemotherapy does. You know,
I lost my grandpa to brain cancer.
yeah, I lost my grandmother from breast cancer and my aunt from also breast cancer. Now that I think about it, so you know, cancer is a bitch, man.
Cancer.
Nobody likes cancer. Everybody is at risk, especially in this day and age because
With these.
well, yeah, the vapes. I think vapes are the least of our concern at the moment. Yes, like
Thank you.
I think like yes. I'm sure there's a risk and things like that, but sugars, man, sugars. You know, not everybody that vapes gets cancer, but everybody gets cancer. What is everybody's common denominator? Sugar. You know, and that's just that's a personal perspective.
gotcha,
It's
gotcha.
not professional, but yeah, man, it's crazy because you never know with what you're ingesting and what kind of effect that it has because
your body.
you know
Gotcha.
we're just people. You know, we're people. We don't really know a whole lot, and we are the cause of introducing all of these external components to our environment. You know, such as sugar and things like that. So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that the average person ingests daily that causes these problems. Whether it's whether it's sugar or maybe it's microplastics or things like that. You know, that's why I drink Mountain Valley water. But unfortunately, the Mountain Valley water cases are $40 a piece. So we stuck with the $5.99 a case. Water.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep Mountain Valley water in the studio for guests and things like that, but man, I can't afford to buy a case every week, and it's just one of those things. But shout out to Mountain Valley Water for having good quality water. I think they pull it from the springs of the hot springs of Arkansas and things like that. So the things that we ingest really matter. And I have
Big believer on what you eat is what you are.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a sports car, I mean, are you putting 89 octane in that baby?
Call me Pizza Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be running rough. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just not running right.
Yep.
Versus when you put great gas into a vehicle and it's just running at top level. There's an aspect of quality that goes into what we eat, and if we eat good, we feel good, and I've tested that myself. If I eat good, I feel great. I have a guest next Friday. It's the first virtual Zoom podcast that I'm doing. It's a girl from Georgia, and she I don't want to tell her whole story because I'll let her do that on next Friday. But just to kind of sum it up, she was eating just like a normal person and eating, I guess, not, I shouldn't say like a normal person because what is normal? But, she was eating kind of whatever she wanted and things like that. Well, she had some health issues and she was having breakouts and things like that. Well, her doctor had, kind of gave her some advice. Well, she went completely carnivore. She eats a lot of almost keto style, a lot of butter, a lot of red meat, and things like that. And that actually cured her symptoms that she was having that kind of reduced her quality of life. So she was able to live at her maximum potential. So I'm excited to chat with her to kind of see what it is that she's doing and what she's eating and how that changed her lifestyle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that just goes back to the fact that what you put in your body is very important. It's a big deal. So, yeah, cheers to putting good things in your body
Good stuff.
as we
I actually just hit my at 10:30. I forgot I can't eat. I'm fasting.
Oh, well, hey, let's fast with some tequila.
Okay.
So, what's y'all's plans after this?
Today is
Saturday night.
cheat day. I'm about to go find some. I don't even know what we getting.
Oh.
I don't know. We might go out, maybe. Depending
Okay.
on.
So,
Maybe.
since y'all are already parked here, I would suggest I mean, this is the studio is in a really active area of Houston, right across the street.
Active. You talking like?
Yeah. Like, well, what kind of active are you looking for?
Active.
Active.
When I hear active, I'm like, boy, might get active.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe here in Houston.
People be, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe. Well,
if it's too active for me, I'm going home.
yeah. So no, I could actually recommend a couple good spots for you guys. If I was leaving this location right now, and don't get me wrong, there's a couple great spots downtown that I would recommend, and we could get to that in a minute. But you know, just from this location, I mean, you could go down the elevator, and there's a couple bars right off of Washington you could just walk to. Sugar Room is one of them. I mean, if you're trying to get fancy, I think they have a dress code. Are you wearing a jeans?
Yeah, I don't do the fancy stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So if you were doing fancy, Sugar Room is awesome. I mean, you walk in, it's like you walk in, it looks like an ice cream shop. Walk through a couple back doors, and you're in like this crazy dark room that's just, it looks like you're in a mansion. I mean, it's chandeliers hanging from the ceilings, felt over the seats. I mean, real clubby, real vibey. They have very good craft cocktails, and so
crafted cocktail.
Yeah, they have a drink called Gunsmoke, and they garnish the cup or the glass with pepper, crushed pepper, and it's ridiculously good. I love it. So if you end up going there, Gunsmoke is a great drink to get. If we're not going fancy, but you know, I don't know what kind of. Yeah, sure.
Don't mean to cut you off. So this Gunsmoke.
Yes.
So you looked at me. You said jeans. What about? I guess the top half of her is fancy.
Yeah. Honestly, they're a lot more lenient on women than they are men. So yeah, I know. So it's one of those things, but
it's close.
It's close, right? Walking distance. Yeah, everything is walking distance. From here, you know, like I said, it's 10:30. If y'all want food, they got Burger Bodega. They got pizza over here. They have not Frank's Pizza, but Pink's Pizza down the road. But yeah, Washington Avenue is the active spot or one of the active spots in Houston, especially in this area.
So it's like a 6th Street or something like that. The Domain.
It's similar. Yeah, it's similar. That's a good spot. They have a good spot over in the Heights. There's a place called McIntyre's. Yeah,
that sounds fancy.
Yeah,
them houses on the way here is crazy.
Yeah, which road did y'all go down? Do you remember?
I couldn't even stop. I was going like 20. All these cars just passed me up. We were like, look at that, look at that.
I know
those houses were
nuts.
Insane.
Kirby Drive is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean that's old money.
Was it Kirby?
If it was Kirby, there's Texans players that live there and things like that.
It might have been.
Did y'all see Little Papacitos?
Yeah,
it's Kirby.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, we make a left by Papacitos, and you just keep straight.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Kirby,
bro. Yeah. Them houses were
ridiculous.
Like, bro, what?
Yeah, hey, you need to go drop a card on those streets, bro.
A card, and drop the whole box.
Yeah, bring that whole load out, man. You telling?
look, man. Look, Kirby Drive. Is it Kirby Drive or Kirby Street?
Kirby Drive.
Kirby Drive.
We coming for you, baby.
I haven't told her. I was like,
they about to get lassoed up by Cowboy over here.
Yeehaw!
Yeah,
I was telling her, I was like, bro, I just want to knock on these doors during the day and be like, what do you do?
Yeah, and that's why those pages on Instagram are big. You know, hey, what do you do for a living? You know,
what do you do for a living?
Yeah, what do you do for a living? They're driving like a 458 Ferrari. You know,
yeah, exactly.
And you know, a lot of them are in tech. A lot of them own their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them do whatever. You know, and you know, but I think the common denominator is they're all independent, and so I think that independence is the key. You know, because you don't want to work for somebody your whole life, you know.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's the key, man. And Yeah, that's kind of another reason for starting this is because I could do what I want, I could say what I want, and nobody's really watching over me, telling me what I can and can't do.
You're the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the boss.
And so it's good, and it's good in whatever field that you're in, because man, once people get a little power over you, they use it, and that's no fun. That's no way to live. That's no way to be a human, And don't get me wrong, there's good bosses out there.
There's great bosses out there.
Great bosses out there, and there's people to work for. That's excellent.
I remember his last name. I don't even want to shout him out. Larry.
They're David.
Hold on, I gotta give my guy.
Yeah, we have to now. We have to.
I gotta give my guy. I don't even remember his. Man.
Let's see here.
His name's not even Larry. I don't even know his name. That's how close we were. I don't even know his real name.
So in the process of looking for Larry or Larry-like person.
I think he Snapchatted me.
Oh, what?
Like we were that close.
Man, hey, how do you incorporate sustainable practices in your business? Would you consider turf sustainable?
In long term?
Sure.
That's actually a great question because I asked myself the same question. For where we are.
Right, yeah.
For where I do it in Southeast Texas.
Right. But that's the thing, man. I think that, only committing to one area would be impractical, in your business. And I think that you have the leadership skills to branch out and kind of manage territories, and things like that kind of promote this business and things like that. I think that you have a really good setup. The first time that I saw Michael was into turf, I was like, man, what is this guy doing?
This is crazy.
Yeah, he's pulling up with a big old truck with a big old trailer and working and supporting a family and doing all these things that are so respectable, because there's so many people that can't sustain a family. I can't. Maybe once I get this promotion, then we could think about kids, once we do this, then maybe I could get you this car, or maybe I could get a truck for myself, But, when people are making ends meet, it's obvious, and it's great. It's great to see, and, maybe not for the haters, because there's always going to be people that are hating, but
shout out to the haters.
Yeah, shout out to the haters because, any sense of success, the people that appreciate it will appreciate it. People that don't appreciate it are probably jealous, and so you got to take that initiative to go out and put in the work to accomplish goals. And I think that that's what you're doing with Cowboys and your business. And I think it's amazing, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
First of all.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about entrepreneurship. So it's kind of going to lead up to what I want to say to you right now. So there is this video I seen. There's this video I seen, and his name is Glow Jays. Shout out to Glow Jays, bro. He got me into the sports betting and all the other stuff. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother bottle of tequila.
So he's one of the guys that go up to random people and be like, what do you do for a living? On YouTube, Instagram, I follow him, and he started doing sports betting. That's how I got into that crap. But there was this one video that sticks with me. He says, he asked this guy, I don't remember the guy's name, but he's like, what is entrepreneurship? He's going around asking people, what is entrepreneurship to you? Like, what does success mean to you? And there's one guy that says, success is entrepreneurship, being a successful entrepreneur. He's like, what do you mean by that? He's like, what do you mean by that? So he's like, being a successful entrepreneur, doing what you want to do when you want to do, being successful at it. He's like, well, that's a good answer. He's like, so what is entrepreneurship to you? And the guy's like, entrepreneurship is, how did he put it? It's daily, random, just every day's different.
Yeah, it is.
And I was just sitting there listening like, holy shit, that is so true. He's like, there was one thing he said. What did he say? He said, entrepreneurship is...
That's one thing, to get caught up in the monotony of just a corporate job, going and doing the same thing every day.
Every day.
Man, I've done it before and I go crazy.
Crazy.
I've lost relationships just because I'm so miserable, whether it's friends or girls or, anything. I mean, if you're not happy, it shows.
It shows, and it will transfer over to
everything. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And this guy hit the nail on the hammer with what he said, and I literally cannot think about the exact words he said. But basically, he was saying, like, entrepreneurship, it's a gamble every day. You don't know if you're going to be successful or not. It's just not giving up. It's like every day is just throwing something at the wall, seeing if it sticks.
Yeah, yeah. And the good thing is, a lot of things stick, but a lot of things slide down.
But fuck down.
You can see it, though. You could see it smear on the walls.
You're like,
You could see it, man.
That didn't
and it's
work.
obvious. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, because it's obvious. And doing things that stick, if it sticks one day, oh, beautiful. Let's throw that shit again,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it might not stick tomorrow, might not stick the next
Might
day.
not stick, yeah.
It might stick a week in a row.
Yeah, it might just cake up and just ball up and fall off,
It's crazy, man. And it's I tell everybody that, I know there's a lot of people out there that have, because before Mike, man, all right, I'm getting into the juicy stuff.
Yeah,
now. Okay, look.
Let's go ahead and finish that last shot of tequila. Yeah.
Last shot of tequila. Nice. So, how the fuck did I end up in Utah?
Right? Yeah. Hey.
And I told everybody, hey, I started in Utah. They're like, how the fuck did you get in Utah?
Yeah.
Because of Michael. So my grandma basically adopted Michael. So Michael was like my brother / uncle
Right.
type thing. But he came down for her funeral. She passed away. So because we were all super close. But he came down for her funeral. At that time, I was an operator out at Lion Elastomers. I just got a job offer from Valero. I denied the Valero job.
Wow.
Put it 2 weeks in at Lion Elastomers at the rubber plant. And Mike, because after the funeral, Mike's like, come to Utah. Help me run my business. Partner with me. I'm like, fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I had a house at the time with my ex-fiance. The house was for sale the next 2 days after my grandma passed away. We had a funeral. We put the house for sale 2 days later. Sold the house like 30 days later after that. Moved to Utah. And that's how all this crap started. This was an
Holy
overnight.
cow.
This was an overnight. I'm quitting here, moving to Utah. It wasn't like I want to do something. Let's figure out what it is. No, it was like
hey, let's do this.
I'm doing this right now. It's working. It's getting better. To fuck that, going somewhere else, starting something new that I don't even know if it's gonna work.
Wow. Man, and it's always the stories where people take a leap of faith, and they do it. And it takes a true commitment, to follow through with these crazy ideas, because, if that would have been somebody else and somebody would have said, hey, come to Utah, they'd have been like, man, you crazy,
Get out of my face.
You get it.
But it was Michael.
Right,
And
yeah.
me and Michael were like, a lot of people don't know that, but me and Michael were like tight.
Right,
like
yeah.
tight. Like he lived with me.
Right.
He lived with my mother while I lived at my grandma's because he got kicked out of HJ for all the crap that happened. He lived with
I don't
my
think I'm aware with that, but I'm not gonna dig.
Yeah. He had to move to Westbrook because he got kicked out of HJ.
I didn't know that. Holy
He
cow.
had to live with my mom while I lived with my grandma, still going to HJ. He graduated from Westbrook with my mom.
I had no idea. Wow. I always thought he graduated with in my
exactly.
class,
Everybody
yeah.
thinks that, but he graduated at Westbrook.
Wow. Man, I just want to give a shout out to Michael real quick, because,
Mike Will made it.
man, hey, exactly. And, we were always friends. We weren't close. Like we didn't live with each other, things like that, but we lived in the same neighborhood and, we were able to hang out every now and then. But, seeing how much progress that he's made is very respectable. I mean, you can't argue with success, you know, and I mean, it's a fact. There's nothing anybody could say to anybody that's seen success over something that they decide to do, you know, and that's how it is. And it makes people mad and things like that. But, man, all respect to him. I think that, you know, just from the little bits and pieces that I've seen through social media and things like that, it seems like he's turned out to be a great father and a great friend to you. Yeah.
Bro, father, bro, yeah. That's father, husband, all the above, bro. He's turned out great. Yeah. I never.
Now, hey, let me just say this, man. In middle school, he came over. Mike came over to my house, and me and my buddy Colby talked him into eating this cricket.
That's Michael.
I was like, Mike, I'll bring you to the movies if you eat this cricket. And he was like, say less. And dude, I was just playing, bro. Like, no questions asked, bro. He ate the cricket. Shout out Mike, by the way.
Yeah, Mike is crazy, man. I never thought, seeing Michael now, from what I knew Mike, the Mike I grew up with and knew, to the Mike now, I'm like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah, hey, but that's maturity, brother. Like that's you know, and I've even seen that. Not to toot my own horn at all, but I've even seen that with myself. You know, man, there was times where I was like, even in my own head, I'm thinking, I'm such a dumbass. Like, why did I do this or why did I do that? And then, you know, I think that's just part of life, man. You grow up and you start realizing that, you know, how to behave and how to act and how to treat people and
how to carry yourself.
Man,
everything.
It's crazy, and I think that's you know, even going like back to the 10-year reunion that I just came from, you know, a lot of these cats that I saw from high school, man, they matured. You know, there's a lot of good-hearted, kind people that turned out to be great fathers, great husbands, and great wives, and great moms, and you know, it's a circle, man. It's a beautiful circle of life, and that's why it's important to teach your kids the best that you can, you know, because they're going to be rebellious. You know, I was rebellious. I
was horrible.
Yeah, I was terrible. You know, and my dad passed away about a year ago, and
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'm well, yeah, man. I well, thank you for that first off, but life is a crazy circle, and I just know that anybody loses that's close to them is never really gone. They're always with them. And after that, I was like, you know, I need to start actually representing, you know, and I'm not this kid no more. You know, my father just passed away. Now I have to step up to the plate. I have to be the man that I was raised to be, and not this child that's purposely making bad decisions, you know, and so there's a
step up.
It's a sense of you know, leadership and things like that. So, you know, it's just how life is, you know, and it's a circle. And like I said, I plan to have children one day, and I'm gonna raise them the best that I can, just like my dad did, you know, and you know, it's crazy, you know, it's crazy looking back to see what people teach you, you know, and the things that you learn over a span of time is incredible. So yeah, shout out to honestly everybody that we've lost, and the growth that they would be proud of at this moment, you know. So
shout out to that, man.
Yeah, man. So what's next? What's next with this turf business, brother? I know you got plans.
Oh man, the juicy stuff. So my plan right now is to actually get into. I told you I watch a lot of YouTube,
right?
So there's this guy I watch. Got to give a shout out to my guy.
Might as well, yeah.
Gabe Farrell Productions.
Okay.
So what he does is there's ton of companies out there, a lot of YouTube channels that do truck giveaways, car giveaways. They buy cars, trucks, super nice, fix them up, whatever.
Right.
What they do is do raffles, start a clothing brand, and then they basically raffle them off.
Wow.
So That's kind of, I don't know if that's going to be a part of the turf business, which
Right.
I wanted it to be initially, but
You don't have to be.
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
I'm looking
completely
to
other independent entity. You know.
Exactly. So I actually want to get your honest opinion.
Okay. This is what I specialize in.
So this is actually the clothing brand I started.
Oh, you've already launched it.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I made the clothing. I just made the designs. This was back in 2021. So you can scroll over.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah. So initially, I'm looking at it and I love it because because it's different. It's basic, but not too basic. But it's different enough where you put it on, you wear this clothing, and you know what it is. For example, I mean, a Ford. You see a Ford truck pull up, you know it's a Ford truck, and what I'm looking at here, the design I'm looking at, is not anything specifically that I have seen before. What is the name of this?
Envelope.
Envelope.
It's French for something.
French for what?
Something. Not something, but something.
Oh.
Not actually something.
Wait, what is something?
Something is so you know how I told you before Mike came to me and was like, hey, let's do this.
Right.
I was like, I want to do something. This is what I want to do. I want to wrap cars.
Oh.
I want people to be like, hey, let me wrap your car in a camo.
The hats are dope.
Thank you.
Hats are dope.
I wanted to wrap cars.
The women's spandex, also dope.
Is that the long ones or the short ones? Long ones?
I was looking at the long ones, but I love the short ones. The short ones look like something that they would be fighting in with you, like UFC or something.
I don't even remember they were getting. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That is true.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
Excuse me.
Honestly, I even like for the long spandex. Even if you were to, I like the camo on that opposite side. Mm-hmm. But even if it was just the words, just black with the words, I think that would be awesome too.
Could just be the words.
Because all ladies they love black spandex. Just add a little bit of a envelope to it, and you're sold. Yeah. Now I like that. I like the dress shirt. I would wear the dress shirt out.
Gotta have the professionalism.
Yeah. So how did you develop that little concept?
So the envelope. All right. So I wanted to wrap cars. That was the business I wanted to start doing on the side while I was being an operator. I actually have my degree in process operation. Bachelor's in business.
Wow.
Yeah. So wrapping cars was I love cars. I know you love cars. I know you love cars. Yeah, I don't know if you know all the cars I had. I had a freaking 392 SRT 392 Scat Pack.
Oh wow.
God dang Mustang 50.
See, yeah, I like a nice Mustang. Yeah.
I've had fast. Now I'm like, forget all that.
Yeah, man, I'm in an SUV these days. Forget all that. I got out of high school and I'm like, man, I can't afford these things.
Insurance is stupid.
Insurance is crazy. Crazy.
Ridiculous.
And especially with my rap sheet.
I actually don't have any tickets. Well,
man,
I got tickets.
That's the thing. I'm speeding in a minivan. Like,
gotta get these kids.
Yeah, man.
No,
I'm over here listening to Up on my way to Beaumont.
Bro, I got a song named Up.
Wait, hold on. You have a song?
All right, hold on. Envelope first. We'll get to that. All right, so
poor Megan, she's over here thinking, I wish these guys would shut up. I'm hungry. They were talking about Burger Bodega earlier.
No, I know she's hungry. All right. Look, so envelope.
Hey, I also, if you would, like, we're in a great spot of town. I could give you my key and you could just, if you needed to go pick something up. Okay.
Come on, bro.
And that's what's crazy, man. There's so many options around here. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up with envelope.
Envelope. All right, look.
We'll go envelope, music, and then we'll start wrapping it up.
All right. We start what?
We could start wrapping it up.
You gonna freestyle?
You get a freestyle?
Hell no. I don't rap no more because then you're gonna start a whole another. All right, look. So envelope. I I wanted to wrap cars. That was like my side business I wanted to do, and then take it off to a big car shop, wrapping cars. I wanted to be the car rapper.
Right.
Envelope means wrapped in French.
Ooh.
So if you look at the clothes,
Yeah.
it looks like they're wrapped.
I love that. Yeah. That's brilliant.
That's where that came
Yeah,
from.
it's very subtle, but there's a lot of thought that went into that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I wanted to sound fancy.
Yeah.
How do you say wrapped in French? And I
Yeah.
Googled it. It's like envelope.
Let me wrap you up with that premium fabric with envelope.
But then you just like, just wrap you up. You put it on you. You're wrapped in, if you got a hoodie on, wrap yourself up if it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Envelope. But that's where that came from. Music. I could have swore I thought you knew I did music.
I think it's a brief thought. I know that I don't know. Tell me the background on this. Maybe yeah. Or you got something on there?
You see it? What does that say?
Oh, I can't see. Your hat's in the way.
Oh.
Oh, Westbury. What? That's your name.
That was my rap name.
Oh, I like it.
So here we go.
Man, I used to think that I could make music, and honestly, there's like still like a thought in my mind that I can after a little work and a little progression. What, bro? You're on iTunes?
Yes, sir. At Spotify, all the good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Is that up? No, it's not up. I thought that was up for a second. It sounds like
this is Money, Cars, and Fame.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Who's Juice?
One of my old buddies. I don't like that song. I don't like none of my songs no more.
Oh, which one do you like?
Let me see. Let me see what you got. Let me see on there.
There's a lot of production that goes into that. I could already tell.
I recorded everything in my room.
What? It's so clear.
Yeah, man,
Can I play this?
Yeah.
Is this going to be copyrighted?
If
I don't know. I don't know if this is like
me though.
maybe. This you? How long did it take to record this?
Maybe 30 minutes. 30, 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. So you have a full album, brother.
I should have 2 on there and a whole bunch of singles.
Wow. So when did this start? When did this music thing start?
Back in like 2017, 2017. Yeah, 2016, 2017.
Wow.
I got probably over 50 tracks on SoundCloud.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, I thought that I could make music at one point, and there was a point in time where, man, I was just sleep deprived and very wordy, and it didn't get me anywhere good. But man, here's the thing, I love music, and I've had artists on, I've had rap artists on here, and they kind of tell their story, and it's a growing process, in music. I mean, you don't just start out and you're not great, and you have to kind of progress and try things out. I'm sure just like in the turf business, you kind of have to test and trial and error and see what works and what doesn't work and things like that. And I think that the art of poetry and adding poetry to music and making a full song, I think that that's incredible, And so anybody that could not only make a full song, but make a full album or 2 full albums, that just kind of shows what kind of person that person is. I start something and I finish it, so yeah, that's excellent. That's very,
Thank you.
very impressive. You don't have any desire to hop back into the game?
I'm gonna show you my notes right now. They'll say 2024 from March, April, May, June of new stuff I done written.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to stay on it, and it's a beauty, music is, and man, never stop that. You never know what anything can turn into. And what I just heard is there's a lot of thought that goes into these songs, So I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I definitely that was definitely my first passion. Yeah, definitely. You know, every time you can even ask her, man, I'm sitting there writing, she's like, yeah, I'm not talking to him. He's in his zone.
Wow. Yeah, if I were to show you some of the songs that I have made in the past, it's pretty it's pretty sketch. It's like, man, like
I love, and that's the thing about me, bro, when it comes to music, I love everything.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that, you know, somehow in some way you have to get thoughts out of your mind, you know, whether that's writing it down, creating actual poetry, creating I almost said artistic side, but I get poetry is art. Making a just great products, you know, and whatever that may be, it's important,
Very,
you know. So, well, that's amazing. But so your primary focus is to get the turf business going. Your hobby is making music.
Yeah, basically.
And your goals are just to keep proceeding. So I think that's amazing. And Dylan Mays, you sir are an amazing person. And you know, I have nothing but respect for you and for Michael that you know, you guys are going out and making plays. Yes, and a lot of people don't make a lot of plays. You know, they talk about making plays. They don't make plays. You know, and I think the key is to make plays. You know, so what are your goals for the future?
For the future, right now I am working. It's actually why I kind of dumbed down to just me and Luis at this moment. Basically training Luis to be me. So you know, once we get to
that'll
that,
open up a lot of opportunity for you. You know,
once he's me, which I believe he's there. Just every job I'm paying close attention. He's definitely, it's crazy watching him because I can sit there and just be like, I'm just going to think of something. Like, what do we need to do next? Or, oh, I forgot to do this. I'll see if he kind of picks it up, and he's been doing great. So, main focus is to get him to where I need him, where he can basically do what I'm doing, and then kind of get this all hands off, let it run itself, and then dive into that truck, car, raffle, giveaway, I guess company.
Yeah,
what you would call
options
it.
Are endless.
Yeah, so that's my main goal right now. Also, start a sports betting chat. So, you know, call out plays, send them in the chat. You know, you just pay a small fee, weekly, monthly. I haven't decided that yet.
Oh, damn, you got it like that though. Oh, what?
I got the plays, man. Look, man. No, we're gonna save that for another day.
Hey, we can save it for another day.
We can save it for another day. I'll come on here as the sports betting.
Hey, yeah.
Or sports chat.
Yeah.
Group, whatever. But that's another goal. That's another passive income I'm trying to work on.
I love when people think of multiple angles. And
got to.
Yeah. And like I said, there's people that don't think of any angles, and it bothers me. There's close family that I have that I'm like, hey, like,
you just want to strangle them.
What if you did this? What if you did this? And they're like, I'm like, brother, I love you, but I want to smack the shit out of you right now. You know, because people have opportunities and they don't take them because they're lazy.
They don't, they just ignore them. Yeah. Just like, whatever. It'll come back around again.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, well, you never know. Well, Dylan Mays, it has been a pleasure. If I ever need anything turfed, I'm calling you. You're the first person.
You already know.
Shout out to Dylan Mays,
man,
owner and CEO of Cowboy's Turf and Landscape. Hit him up if you need any turf needs. Dylan Mays, thank you for coming.
Sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's crap. This is amazing. I love this.